Welcome back to another episode of Dad on Money. Today, just going to chat about what my purchases were back in the day when I was younger. So the earliest really thing that I saved for was a ghetto blaster. So it had two cassette, yes, cassette, because CDs weren't out at that point in time, two cassette decks with a mute button on it, because everybody recorded music off the radio. And the mute button on there was used for when the music finished playing, you could hit the mute button so you had a space, because this was high tech. Because after you made your mixtape or your tape off the radio, you could hit fast forward and it would go to that next break so that it would start up at the next song. So you didn't have to fast forward, play, listen to it. Am I near the end or not? Fast forward, play. Oh, I went too far, back up. Anyway, and it had detachable speakers. So that was like my first purchase. I was probably, 15 or so. I had a job, was working minimum wage at that point in time. It was like $4 an hour. So, had to save up quite a bit of money for that. But that's what started me learning and understanding what savings were. The next biggest thing probably was a computer. So I needed a computer for work, and this was in, the 90s anyway. And so this computer, was it work or school? I don't remember, but it was a computer. And so I went to my local bank branch because I needed a loan, because this computer cost $3,000. And so I had a couple of kids and was working, but just couldn't save up enough to be able to go out and buy this $3,000 computer at the time. So went to the bank, had good credit, I thought anyway, but they were like, oh, I don't know if we can give you this loan. And so, it's like, you need this for school or work or whatever it was. This is before the internet too, keep in mind. So yes, I am older than the internet. And so are some of my kids. So just keep that in mind, those of you listening and watching to this. Anyway, so I went to the bank, finally convinced, had to go all the way up to the bank manager to get this $3,000 loan to be able to buy this computer. So that was probably the biggest challenge I had in order to get money to go purchase something. And sadly, I wasn't able to save enough quick enough to be able to buy this computer outright. Now, after I paid off that loan with the computer, which got me better credit, and we'll talk about credit later in another episode, got built up credit, built up more savings so that I was able to buy my first house. And we were able to build it, came up with our own floor plan and stuff for our family. And it was great. But that was probably the biggest purchase that I've had to do since then. So anyway, so those are some of the things that I've done in the past, and what I saved up for, was able to buy. And I've looked actually for that ghetto blaster online, because it got left at a restaurant somewhere that I worked way back when. And looking online though, I kind of wish I would have kept it, because those vintage pieces of equipment are worth quite a bit now. Like, it's probably worth 3 or 4 times what I paid for it originally. So anyway, it's good to hang on to those things and keep them in good condition, because you never know what they'll be worth later on in life. So anyway, that's my story. Hope you enjoyed this, and we will see you in the next episode.